So look, sometimes in order to piece together what truly happened, you have to kind of go right back to the start and focus on one specific element in a case and exhaust that element beyond anything. So you have literally looked at it, scrutinized it, pulled it apart, and tried to make sense of it. Because it's this one little thing that makes or breaks the entire chain of events. And I think I've found that specific thing that kind of steers this entire investigation in a certain direction. And for this to happen, we need to go back to June the 15th, 2021. And what we're going to do for the purpose of looking at this, we're going to assume that everything up to Summer getting back to the house is irrelevant. We're going to say, for the purpose of this video, we are going to assume that Candace was being truthful. They did what they said they had to do and they got back to the house. Now, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I don't agree with it. But I think we have to be fair and say, look, okay, we'll run with your story, Candace. We'll go with you because at the end of the day, you could just be a mother who's lost her child and the story that you gave is accurate. Now, look. So, we've got back to the house and we get to the point of the cacti being planted. Okay, we're going to go from that point. So they're planting cacti, they are in that area, and it would assume that Grandis and Candace are both there while this is happening. And I'll tell you for why. Because Candace states that Summer says she wants to go into the house to play with her toys, to see her brothers. There's a little bit of a... So she wants to go and play, she wants to see her brothers, whatever, but she makes the decision that she wants to go from outside the house into the house. And Candace is there, and she walks her. She states that she walks with her to the house and walks her inside. We know that she walks her physically into the house because she then says to the boys to keep an eye on Summer. Now, let's look at this little element here. And that is, Summer has said that she wants to go inside and play. So why, even at that point, would Candace be of a mindset that, A, she's got to walk her into the house? Now, we have seen the style of parenting that seems to have been going on around these children. They weren't the most cared for children in terms of cleanliness, their nourishment, their physical and mental needs. Now, I'm not saying that proves that they're guilty of anything, but it does show you what their parenting style was like. But from this point, what we're saying is that Summer went a distance of around 10 feet and Candace walked her during that period of from the cacti to the house, into the house, and then went on to tell her brothers to keep an eye on her while she was in there. And these, to me, they don't completely ring true, because it seems like that is almost over-parenting. She's trying to give a vision of, this is what I am as a mother. I will not let her walk more than 10 yards without me being with her. When she goes into the house, I make sure that she is being looked after. Do you know what I mean? This is what Candace is trying to do. She's trying to project this image of, I am a fantastic mother and I make sure that I do everything right. You with me so far? So what we're saying from this point is that Summer has been walked into the house and Candace has gone into the house with her and she's told the boys to keep an eye on Summer. She then tells them that she is going to be back in 2 minutes. Okay? And this is that 2-minute lie, because this 2 minutes is what will now govern this entire story from this point forward. Because Candace then confirms that she did in fact return in 2 minutes. So what Candace is trying to say is that in a period of 2 minutes, Summer had changed her mind about going into the house and playing, and instead wanting to go back outside where she was 2 minutes ago. Does that make sense? Why would Summer say when she's outside that she wants to go inside and play, but then within a period of 2 minutes she's then completely changed her mind and gone back outside where she was? That little segment there of the story doesn't make sense. But it goes further. Because what we're saying is, say this was someone who was watching Summer and wanted to get her. Now, they would have had to have been watching for an opportunity to do so. But there wouldn't have been an opportunity to do so, because Candace is so vigilant with Summer. This is what Candace has said. She must have been there when the cacti were being planted. At the very least, Grandis would have been there, and Candace would have been there towards the tail end of that. And this person has watched this happening. They've also watched Candace walk Summer into the house, and they've watched her walk back 2 minutes later. What really could have happened in that 2 minutes time? What can you do in 2 minutes? Because what this seems to me, this little story here, this little segment of what happened, is Candace trying to protect her image as a mother. And I think by doing so, she lied. And she made a story that then rendered an impossibility of Summer being taken. Because it can't happen that way. It couldn't have happened in that manner. In a period of 2 minutes, Summer could not have been taken from that house, because nobody would have taken that risk of going to that property or up to that property and taking Summer from the house. I don't believe that Summer would have made a decision when she's already made a decision to go into the house within 2 minutes to then completely change her mind and head back outside. So she would have been in the house. Now my conclusion is this, is that lost period of 2 hours, nobody knows what happened. Now this is just one version of events, and this kind of paints a picture that something did indeed happen, and it could have been that Summer did wander off. It could have been that Summer was lured off of that property. But what I'm telling you is, that's that missing segment of time. There's not 2 minutes here where something happened. There is around 2 hours where something happened. And in order to find out what happened to Summer on that day, TBI needs to pull that family in and ask them the real version of events of that day. Because the version of events that they have given are a lie. There's no ifs, no buts, no maybes. Candace Bly is a liar.